Look around town and almost every classic executive sedan you see is a bloated German boat or a tired vintage runner. But right here sits a genuine piece of Detroit history, a 1977 to 1979 Chevrolet Impala sedan finished in silver grey with red accent paint stripping. When GM downsized these full body size cruisers back in the 1970s, purists thought that they have lost the soul. But look at this chance: quad square headlight, heavy chrome bumpers, square body lines, and wait till you see what's under the hood and in the cabin. Let's begin. Pop this long steel hood and you'll notice something very interesting under here. Originally, this heavy steel cruiser left Detroit with a massive 5.7-liter V8 pushing around 170 horsepower, a modest 360 newton-meters of torque, and one primary function: converting petrol directly into noise and heat. Haha. That original motor had a drinking problem so severe it would swallow the entire fuel tank of a Suzuki Alto in one gulp and still sputter out before you even made it from Bandali Rise down to classroom. So when that old V8 finally caught a knock and retired itself, it was an absolute blessing. Swapped right into the engine bay is a Toyota's 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 1JZ GE inline 6 from a Grand Mark II. Let's look at the numbers. Double overhead CAM straight 6 pushes roughly 197 horsepower and 250 newton-meters of torque at 4,000 RPM. Speaking of fuel, I'm going to test your car knowledge right now. Look around the sides of this car. No fuel door on the left fender, no fuel door on the right fender. Drop a comment below right now if you know the exact sophisticated hidden spot where the Detroit car hid the gas cap on these 1970 B-body Chevys. You get it right in the comment. I'll just pick one of you for a ride in this plush and red velvet cruiser. This isn't a boat, this is a 3-bedroom apartment with a lock. The sheer depth of this trunk is ridiculous. Back in the day, you could probably transport half a squad back from Kandahar in here and still have room for 2 spare tires, a full barbecue grill, and a week's worth of groceries. If you ever got locked out of your house, just throw a mattress in here and call it a day. You're welcome. Step inside and it's a complete crimson time capsule. Look at this plush burgundy velvet interior. You've got a massive French front bench seat that feels more like a living room sofa than a car seat, a wide sweeping horizontal speedometer, and this classic 2-spoke Chevrolet steering wheel with a gold bow tie right in the center. And then we go to the biggest flex of this entire car, the power sunroof. Think about this for a second. You buy a Toyota 2012 Mark X today, pay full import taxes, sit in traffic, and you still get a solid metal roof with zero sunroof. Meanwhile, this 1970 American granny sedan was pulling off the factory line with a power glass sunroof letting the sun shine through over the plush red velvet seats. Modern luxury cars could honestly learn a thing or two. Out on the tarmac, this swap gives you a completely unique driving experience. You get the super plush, cloud-like ride of a classic heavy Chevy chassis that just swallows up potholes and speed bumps, paired with the buttery-smooth, quiet idle of Toyota 2.5/6. On a flat, open straightaway, it's pure bliss. Give it some space, let the six-cylinder settle in its groove, and this long silver cruiser glides down the highway with effortless style. Now let's be 100% real about hill climbs. This is a massive heavy American steel frame built on a big block torque. So when you hit a steep incline like Kololo or Naguru, that naturally aspirated 2.5-liter has to put in work. It doesn't rocket like a mountain. You've got to give it some space, drop a gear, let the engine sing, and take your time. As someone in an aggressive sports car behind you is getting impatient, you just point that long hood up in the incline, let the 2.5-liter do its honest work, slide that factory sunroof open, and let everyone behind you admire a proper vintage classic. What's my verdict on this box body Chevrolet Impala? It isn't trying to be a razor-sharp track car or a speed demon. It is a stylish, comfortable, bulletproof daily classic that turns heads everywhere it goes. With that brush red interior, a trunk big enough to host a party, a power sunroof that puts newer Japanese sedans to shame, and a low-maintenance Toyota engineering under the hood. This is pure retro cool.